Good afternoon, 4th grade. If you could all come join me on the floor, we will start our language arts lesson. Everyone settled? All right. Have I told you guys about what I did on Thanksgiving yet? No. All right. Well, I guess I will have to tell you today. And because we're starting our figurative language unit, I thought I would use some figurative language, which is language that does not use literal everyday meaning in order to emphasize a point. All right. Well, I'm going to tell you 2 versions of the story, and you guys are going to tell me which version you prefer. All right. So on Thanksgiving, my family and I went to visit my grandmother to spend Thanksgiving with her, my aunts, uncles, and cousins. When I walked in the door, I saw my cousin who I hadn't seen in over a year, and he had grown very tall. In comparison, I felt very short. Before we ate, my cousins and I decided to play football outside, but because it was very cold, we went in early. My family all sat down together and ate our meal, which was very delicious, and afterwards we sat around and told funny stories and laughed. All in all, it was a great Thanksgiving that I felt very lucky to spend with my family. All right, what did you guys think of that story? Did you think it was very interesting? Do you think maybe I could do a better job telling it? All right, well let me try again. All right. So this Thanksgiving, my family and I went to my grandmother's house to spend Thanksgiving with her, my aunts, uncles, and cousins. When I walked in the door, I saw my cousin Connor I hadn't seen in a year, and boy was he a skyscraper at 6'4". I felt like an ant in comparison. My cousins and I decided to play football before we ate, but we had to turn in early because our fingers were turning to ice. It was so cold out. My family, we went in, we all sat down to dinner and ate our meal. The food was heaven. After dinner, we sat around and told funny stories and laughed like a pack of hyenas. All in all, it was a great Thanksgiving that I felt very lucky to spend with my family. Did you guys like that version better? What did you guys think was better about it? Yes.
You use details.
Good. Anyone else have anything else?
The descriptions.
Good. So I was using 2 types of figurative language in there, 2 types of figures of speech. Does anyone know which ones I was using? Well, I was using similes and metaphors, which is what we are going to be talking about today. It's our first lesson in figurative language. Has anyone ever heard of what a simile is before? Have you guys ever written similes? Anyone know what it is? Yes.
It compares things using like graphs.
Good. Very good. All right. So that is what we're going to look at first. All right. A simile is a comparison of 2 seemingly unalike things using the word. Like or as. So, does anyone know any examples that I used in my story of a simile? Yes?
You laughed like a pack of hyenas.
Good, yes. So my family isn't typically like a pack of hyenas, but we were trying to compare how we were laughing so loudly. So, do you guys know how like a hyena laughs? So, that's why we're saying my family, we laughed like a pack of hyenas. I could also have said that my family laughed as hard as a pack of hyenas in order to use as. Does anyone know what the word simile sounds like? It's a word you all know. Yes, Melissa?
Smile.
Smile. Yes. Sometimes similes can be very funny and they can make you smile. Paige, do you have a guess?
Similar.
Good, similar. So we're trying to make a similar connection between the two words or phrases we're using. We were making a connection between how my family laughed and how the sound hyenas make. All right, very good. Does anyone know what a metaphor is? It's a bit trickier of a concept than a simile, but they're pretty similar. Yes?
It compares two things without using like or as.
Very good. Okay. Sorry, that kind of came off a bit, but a metaphor is a comparison that states that one word or phrase is something else. So it's like a simile where you are comparing two unlike things, but you're right, you don't use the word like or as. Instead, you say that this one word or phrase is something else. Did you guys notice any examples of metaphors I used in my story? Yes?
You said that your hands turned to icicles?
Good. So my hands were originally my hands, and then they turned into something else, and they turned into icicles. Very good. Another one I said in the beginning was my cousin is a skyscraper. What do you think I meant by my cousin is a skyscraper?
He's really tall.
Good, good. So I want to put a lot of emphasis on the fact how tall he is. So I'm turning him into a skyscraper to give you that visual imagery and emphasize just how tall he's gotten in the past year. All right. Does anyone know what the word metaphor sounds like? Is there other words that kind of sound similar to metaphor? Anyone have any ideas? Yes?
Metamorphosis.
Very good. All right. Now, which creatures go through the, does anyone know any creatures that go through the process of metamorphosis? Yes?
A butterfly.
Very good. A butterfly. A caterpillar goes across a metamorphosis. It goes in the cocoon and then it turns into a butterfly when it comes out. Or like a tadpole turns into a frog. I think you guys all learned that before, the life cycle. All right. So we're kind of saying that this first word or phrase is kind of like our caterpillar. And then by the use of the metaphor, we are turning it into something else, like the butterfly. So my cousin was originally the skyscraper. He turned into the, was originally himself, and then he turned into the skyscraper. So I could emphasize the comparison of how tall he is with how tall a skyscraper is. All right. So now that we have learned a bit about metaphors, we are going to do some practice to see if we can identify the difference between the two, because it can be kind of tricky, and we want to make sure we know the right way to use each. All right. All right. I'm going to split the board up into two categories, similes and metaphors. To read them off, and you guys tell me whether you think it is a simile or a metaphor. All right. The classroom was a zoo. The classroom was a zoo. Yes, Annie?
A
metaphor. Why do you think it was a metaphor?
Because the classroom turned into a zoo.
Good. Do you guys kind of know what they're trying to say here when they say a classroom is a metaphor? Where are they trying to compare between the classroom and the zoo? Does anyone want to let me know what they think that means, what this metaphor means? Yes, Madeline?
They're all really crazy and have a lot of energy.
Good, yeah, very rambunctious. The maybe the kids were kind of acting like animals. I know you guys would never do that, but good. Yes, this is a metaphor. Very good. All right. The lake is smooth like glass. The lake is smooth like glass. Yes.
Simile?
Simile, good. How do you know it's a simile?
Because it uses like.
Good. All right, we're going to put that one under simile. So like, it's comparing it, saying it is similar to something. Metaphor, it's saying it is a zoo. It is something else. All right. The third one. Without my glasses, I am as blind as a bat. Without my glasses, I am as blind as a bat. Yes,
A simile.
simile, good. How do we know this?
Because of the word as.
Very good. So it's not saying that they are a bat because they cannot see, but a bat who has bad vision is similar to this person who without their glasses has trouble seeing. Very good. All right. The snow is a white blanket. The snow is a white blanket. Yes.
Metaphor?
Metaphor. How do we know this?
Because it is the snow is you're saying the snow is a white blanket.
Good. And what do you kind of think it's trying to describe? Like,
That the
Or something.
snow is like white and very smooth.
good,
and
good.
touch.
Great. All right. She is the class clown. She is the class clown. Yes, Grace.
Metaphor.
Good. How do you know this?
Because it says the word is and she's turning into the class clown.
Yes, she is the class clown, kind of the jokester of the group. Not a literal clown, but figuratively, she's acting like one. All right. He is as brave as a lion. He is as brave as a lion. Grace.
Simile.
Good. How do we know this?
It's using the word as.
Good. Very good. All right. You guys did a really wonderful job. You're really getting the hang of being able to tell what's a simile and what's a metaphor. And great job at telling me what each simile and what the similes and metaphors meant. Okay. So, in a minute, we are going to return to our seats, and we are going to partner up with the person sitting next to you. And if you don't have someone sitting next to you, we'll find you a pair, and we are going to write some similes and metaphors of our own. So there are 3. I already have the comparisons that you have to make written out, and you guys just have to turn them into similes and metaphors. And there's 3 that you have to do, and you have to make sure you write at least 1 simile and 1 metaphor. And the last one can be whichever option you choose to make. It can be a simile or a metaphor. And then after you're done writing it with your partner, you are going to circle above it whether that sentence was a simile or a metaphor. All right, you can all return to your seats. Now this is kind of difficult, so if you have any questions, let me know. I will be walking around to look at what you are doing. It's kind of hard, but it'll be great practice for what we'll be doing, continuing to do later in the year. So if you see that, and you guys can write, it doesn't have to be in order, you can write a simile or metaphor for any of them. You just have to write at least 1 simile and 1 metaphor. And then let me know which is which.